Back at Lucky Crack Addict with a bad habit. We out here. NYC with it. You know what I'm saying? Back at EBNTV Studios for another Think Like a Woman episode. You know what I'm saying? So today, we're going to dive into how to pick up women in public. Now, I've shown how to use unspoken riz in the club. I think I did 2 episodes on that. Today, we're going to dive into how to approach women in public, how to pick up women in public, okay? So, I'm going to hit y'all with some ways to do these this type of situation in different type of scenarios, right? So me, I don't like pickup lines. I hate pickup lines because me, I'm like, what is the purpose? Like, where are we going with this pickup line afterwards? Okay, so say I hit you with a pickup line. Now what? Like, I got your attention, but I still have to create conversation with you. So, you know, I'm gonna give you ways. Cause I've been doing something that's like similar to pickup lines, but not really. It's not all the way pickup lines. You feel me? Right? I'm not doing like, are you from Tennessee? You don't need 10 IC type of stuff. I'm basing my, if you want to say pickup line, on things that I'm seeing directly in front of me. Right? So here's something I've done. I've done 3 different variations of this already. Okay? And this is not to say I'm a whore or a thigh, whatever. It's just, hey, I'm single. I'm allowed to mingle to me. I'm taking my eggplant and everything. I just like to have experiences to be able to know what is going to work with a woman. So when I do meet that perfect girl, like perfect woman in the perfect place, I'm prepared, okay? Preparation leads to positive results. So we are in a club, right? Shorty is looking delicious. I ain't gonna lie, delectable, okay? Devouring all the D words. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to split that thigh gap open in an obtuse angle. You know what I'm saying? Word, bro. So she looking good. I'm dolo as well. You know what I'm saying? She's kind of with her friends and her people, but she's not standing too close to them. And that's the best time. I don't want to talk about a club situation. We're going to get into public, but I'm just talking about like the words in which to use. When she's separated slightly from her group that she came with, that's the best and most opportune time to attack. So she was by the bar at one point with her people. She kind of left the bar. There was a game going on. She kind of was watching the game a little bit with the whoop. So I slide up beside Shorty, took my time, whatever. I didn't just jump on it. And at that point as well, I seen Shorty looking at me from afar. Once again, I don't mind putting up on a girl that I saw first, but I also like to take my time. I observe who's looking at me, who's paying attention, and who I want to pay attention to. Right? So Shorty is looking at me, and I'm looking at her. And I can tell, bro. Once a girl look back in my direction, because I usually don't put myself amongst a bunch of people when I'm in public, right? So I know that if you're looking at me, you looking at me, or you at least trying to make it seem like you're looking in my general direction. So I'm telling you, I'm standing by a podium. She by the bar. I'm looking at her. She looking at me. She look away. There's a point she looked back. I'm like, bro, there's no reason for you to look back. And I think she looked back a couple times. So I'm like, all right. I can tell these things, but I'm telling you, you got to be able to pick up on these energy, pick up on these signs, right? When you're looking at a person, they can sense that you're looking at them. If they look at you and they quickly look away, then they probably don't want you like that. And I'm telling you, that's happened to me before as well, where I'm not perfect. I'm not like the super riz master. Sometimes I get turned down, you know what I'm saying, with the eyes and with my words. You feel me? It is what it is sometimes. But you know, like the other day, I was at a club. You know, I was trying to do the eye thing, and Charlie just ignored me several times. So I was like, you know what, whatever. I'm not finna talk to you if you're not even down to look me in my damn face. You feel me? So, going back to the first example, I'm standing by the podium, boom, pull up on her. I'm like, yo, here's something I'll tell you. This works all the time. All the time. Literally. Like, this is, I'm telling you, game, bruh. Game, bruh. Teach you how to win the game. Pull up on Shorty, I said, yo, where you get that dress from? And she like, oh, I think she just said like Shein or something like that. You know, because a lot of these women shop at Shein. If you want to buy something for your significant other or your girl or whatever, or you just want to know more about what women's out here doing nowadays and their shopping habits, it used to be Fashion Nova, now it's Shein. You know what I'm saying? They like Shein because it's more expensive, they said, or it's cheaper, and they have like a lot of options and stuff like that. You have to keep yourself abreast on certain things, okay? So you can come off as different, right? You want to put yourself in a whole different category by just knowing different things, right? So I was like, oh, where you get that dress from? She told me. I was like, oh, so I ain't gonna lie, you was looking snatched. I had to come say something to you. A damn alarm again. But once you get the laugh, it's over. Once you get the chuckle, Might be time to unbuckle. Nah, for real though, that's crazy. But got the laugh over. I'm in there. So now we conversating for a little bit. She ended up having a boyfriend, but I'm telling you, that man, shout out to her for eventually telling me, but I'm telling you, the course of that night, you would not have felt like I would have got rejected at that point. Because, like I said, I picked my spots. I was talking to her. I'll back up. It was her birthday. If I was her birthday, I'll talk to her at times. But I just met this girl. At some point, when it passed 12, I went back up to her. I was like, oh, happy birthday. But shorty initiated giving me a hug. She gave me a hug. I don't initiate hugs with women. I'm not the, can I get a hug? You know, like in say high school, you know, it's that guy that like, he would see the pretty girls that he kind of knew, but not really. And he was like, you know, say he talked to them and they would about to go to class, but like, I can't get a hug. I can't get a hug. Yo, beware of your local I can't get a hug guy. Beware. Okay, beware. So that's the time that worked, and then so like I said, it's kind of a version of a pickup line essentially, but not really, because I'm really just basing it off of what I see. You clearly look good. That's why I want to talk to you. So I'm gonna ask you where you got your fit, even though I probably do. Well, a lot of times I do know, because the fits I'm not gonna cap to you, bro. A lot of these fits you won't be wearing, you may think is expensive, and they be like, oh yeah, I got it from like H&M. Or I was talking to a girl yesterday, asked her where she got a top from. She said Forever 21. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, bro, it be looking fire, and they could have got it from like Walmart or Amazon or something like that. You heard? So, second example, another club. All right, I'll be at clubs. Like I said, I've said this in the previous episode. It gets a little bit harder to meet women when you get a little bit older. You know, if you're not going to certain places that you enjoy, where you could also meet women that have similar interests to you, it is hard. And me, I don't really go places like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I work a lot. I grind hard, you know what I'm saying, to get to the point where I can be around certain people who whoop. But I ain't gonna lie, when you get older, the club is really where you meet women. Or like I said, maybe if you say going to a movie and you see somebody like that, or maybe you're grocery shopping, or maybe you're at the library, or maybe you're doing an activity that you just enjoy, that you can see somebody that also enjoys that similar activity. It's like, it does get a little more difficult. So that's why, you know, I need y'all to understand, if y'all want to commit to a single life, it is harder, you know, like, than say trying to shack up and build with somebody, you know. But if you're ready for it, then do it. It is enjoyable in its own ways. I've now at this point experienced both sides, but I plan on experiencing my single side for way longer, being that I did the whole relationship thing for most of my life, honestly. So I pulled up on shorty, and I think I did the same thing. Like asked her, or I might have just said like, oh, I like that color. Like I went in her vicinity, and I think I might have just said something like that, like, oh, I like the color of your dress or something like that. Like, I've done this in the same elevator that's in a different party, whatever. I was leaving the elevator. Fire Asian shorty. Oh my gosh, fire Asian shorty. We in the elevator, and I literally just went, y'all like your dress. I ain't asking for no Instagram, nothing. I said, yo, I like your dress. And she said, oh, thank you. Give me a big smile. Oh, thank you. Thick as hell, too, with 2 C's. Oh, thank you. But honestly, at that point, I had felt discouraged at that point, just because like, I didn't really get to slide on much that night, just because it was so many people and I was dolo. It was like overwhelming, honestly. So once I got in the elevator, I really wasn't on time like that anymore. So then, boom, I said to her, and then I just looked forward again. And then, boom, tell me why. She looked back at me, staring at me. I was like, hey, man. That's how you get them, too, as well. Don't be on their body, bruh. Like, if someone had a conversation with you, would you forget them 10 seconds later? I feel like some men don't really understand that concept. Like, women are people, too. You feel me? Like, if you have a conversation with somebody 5 seconds from now, are you going to forget it in the next minute? Now, you might forget it in the next 3 hours, right? But if you guys are in the same vicinity and you just talk to this girl, you don't have to be on her body. Or if you just dance with this girl, you don't have to be on her body. If she's gonna be for everybody, she's gonna be for everybody. Like, there's nothing you can do to stop that, my brother. You know what I'm saying? At all. Like, there's nothing you can do to stop that. If she plans on being for everybody, there is nothing you can do to curtail that. She's for the sidewalk. She's for the sidewalk. Leave her to the sidewalk. Like, men be trying to take girls off the sidewalk and keep them. Leave her to the sidewalk. Okay, so, but the main thing I'm talking about in this situation, this scenario, is that I was like, oh, I said, oh, you look real aesthetic. Shorty started laughing. I said, oh, you like that one, huh? And then I started talking to her for a little bit with the whoop. And then I think I asked her what her ethnicity was. And she told me to guess. It's so funny, like, I knew she was Jamaican, but like in my head, I was like, I don't want to just say Jamaican. I started saying a bunch of other stuff, but it ended up being Jamaican. I really be a genius sometimes, word of bro. But I did a similar thing at the club the other day. It was at 2 fire Johns. I was trying 2-man, right? Me and Viv pull up on a John. And I'm like, off the rip. I usually am gonna make a comment about your face or what you're wearing, right? So in this aspect, I did the what you're wearing. So I pulled up on him. I was like, yo, y'all look real aesthetic. Like I could see your film, like Pinterest or something. And they both looking at me like, oh yeah, thank you. Like one of them was kind of like, I don't know. She was in like an attitude, but honestly, bro, like I said, you just gotta break down that attitude. A lot of girls are not. I like a girl like that. That's not really trying to give me herself off the rip. Because if you break that down a little more, it's gonna work out. If you want to invest that much time, because if you see a girl that has attitude, you have to be able to break that down. If you want to break that down, you know, I did a shoot with one girl, and she came to the shoot. It was in LA. I already had an Airbnb. I didn't book the Airbnb for the shoot, but I had them pull up to the Airbnb for the shoot, right? So Shorty came to the shoot with an attitude, right? And by the time she left, she was asking to come hang out with me and Vivid. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I tried nothing. I did nothing extra to insinuate that I was trying to get her out of her attitude. I just was being myself and didn't care. Which a lot of times, that's what gets by showing them that you really don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, treat them like human. Because we're all human and mammals. You understand? So, that one worked. And then, like I said, so I was at the club, we was by the bar with the whoop, pull them on, they start smiling. And then, you know, I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I like to give people they flowers, blah, blah, blah. But you got to, off the pickup line, you have to immediately go into something else. Don't wait, or it's just going to be awkward, and then you have to immediately go into something else. Especially me, a woman, I don't even give them much time to be able to answer me, to be able to ask me questions if I really want them. I'm going to control the conversation. I'm going to control it. I'm going to control like what we're talking about, the flow, the pace. I'm going to make sure you're not bored. I'm going to make sure you are engaged with this conversation so that I can either come back later on or, you know, we can continue this conversation right now. You understand? So by the end of it, you know, I did the whole like how you spell your name thing. I'm pretty sure I said that in a different episode. I was like, oh. But a lot of times I do be curious though. I'm a genuinely like curious individual for the most part. So, you know, like, I'll be like, oh, what's your ethnicity? I usually ask the big 3. What's your ethnicity? Where you got your clothes from? And what's your ethnicity, where you got your clothes from, and what's your name? You know? So by the end of the conversation, she was asking me my name. And then I usually make a joke like, oh, my name's Taylor. I'd be like, oh, not like Swift though. If anything, more like Lautner. But usually I stop at the Swift part, you know? And then I got another chuckle, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, if you can make them chuckle, that belt might be, you know what I'm saying, might be able to unbuckle. You know what I'm saying? You make them chuckle, that belt might be able to unbuckle. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I might have to shorten that one a little bit. You know what I'm saying? A little long-winded, but you get the vibes. You know what I'm saying? You get the gist. No Sierra Mist. So, say we more so in public, right? On an open field. Now, I'm a street interviewer. I've done a lot of street interviews. So I know how to pull up on people and just get them, right? To want to talk to me. In that aspect, it is the element of surprise, right? In public, I feel like I gotta see you before you see me, because in public, more times than not, people are going to their destination. They're en route to a destination, right? So you stopping and halting them being en route to their destination, they're probably gonna be sick as hell. You know what I'm saying? They probably gonna be tight, right? So you got to catch them off guard. If you give them enough time to see you and ignore you and be able to say, oh yeah, I'm about to keep going on with my day, I don't want to talk to this guy, then you don't want to give people enough time to prepare. So I hit them with the element of surprise. Like, I'll see them in my peripheral, and then boom, I'm in front of you. Like, I'll see you in my peripheral, you can be walking down, oh, I'm in front of you now. Like, yo, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, let me talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I won't do it like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I'll be like, oh, what's going on? Let me tell you. Like, I'll be like, hey, what's going on? Like, so also another thing I'll do is the hands up. I'll do that. I'll pull up on you, hands up, peaceful. I'll pull up on your hands up like, oh, yo, I just wanted to say, you know, so like, and I'll still do and I introduce the pickup line aspect in the beginning because I'm telling you that same thing can happen in public. It's not just about the club. So you can pull up on shorty. Really, you gotta do while she's either in a small group or she's alone. And women do be alone in public sometimes. Maybe going to a park, read a book, whatever. Girls do go outside by themselves, right? So you can pull that on them, and when you approach them, make sure you're going up with you dropping the guard, bro. You dropping the guard. You don't want no smoke, okay? Hands up, yo. Like I said, I go up to people, hands up already. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no smoke. I just want to talk to you for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? That's really what I do with people. I'm immediately throwing the white flag, like, yo, relax. That's my relax. Like when I pull up, relax. Yo, whatever I'm about to say to you, don't get too hurt. It's okay. Relax. Relax. You understand? So there's that. And then say the girl is walking. I had a couple bad experiences with the walking part though, but there's one girl that I'm so tight to this day, like I didn't do nothing about it. But I was on timing that day, and I was to the point where I really was walking up on girls, like, you know what I'm saying? And there was this girl coming this way, we was going that way, and she looked at me and smiled. And I was like, damn, show you with heat. But in that aspect, right, she not finna turn around and chase you. I would have had to wait till, or maybe not wait till she got so far away before I even felt the need to say something. So in that type of situation, you got to be able to jump on things. In public, you have to jump on things. Observe. When you're in a place where the woman is not necessarily going to leave immediately, then, you know, you could be observant first. But in a scenario where, you know, this woman you may never see this girl again. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have much time to coerce her or converse her, whatever. You have to strike while the iron hot. You know what I'm saying? And if you're going in already with the hands up, you can go in with a direct approach off the rip rather than trying to take up too much of her time. You know, you're going with the hands up. You know what I'm saying? Hands up, don't shoot. Like, yo, you was looking real delectable over there. I had to come say something to you. Can I get your name? I'm telling you, off the rip. Say the reason you're there, off the rip. If you get denied, it's okay. Move on. But you have to get it all out off the rippo. Okay? Hey, what's going on? You was looking real good. I didn't want to bother you. I didn't want to interrupt your day too much, but you was looking real good. I had to come say something to you. Mind if I had your name? Make sure you come respectful, bruh. You could be a terrible person, bro. Nah, I don't want you to be a terrible person. But some people are terrible people. But in that initial meeting, you cannot come off as a terrible person. You know what I'm saying? You got to come off as caring, genuine, and, you know, possibly just curious about what that thigh gap look like. To the window! To the wall! To the sweat now, mama! You know what I'm saying? All them female crow, boy. Oh, ski, you know what I'm saying? Ski. But that's going to do it for this episode of Think Like a Woman. Hopefully I dropped some gems on y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, these is gems. Like, I know how different I am just by making these videos. I'm like, nah, these is gems that I know people not doing. Okay, and I don't believe it's gonna hurt me in the long run because I don't even like being a thought. Like, I'm not a thought. You know what I'm saying? I just am currently single and just doing things and trying things out. And at this point, sometimes I do it just to tell y'all the story. I'm gonna keep it stacked. Sometimes I do these things just to see if it's gonna work. And so I can tell y'all the story, because maybe one day it might actually work to the fullest to where this girl's obsessed with me over something that I told you. But I'm telling you, the things that I told you, I do these things so I can give you proof. I would not cap you. The way I tell you stories, there's no way I'm capping. You know what I'm saying? So I really want to give y'all real life examples of how these things work. And eventually, let me know in the comments down below if y'all want me to start recording myself doing this in public. Okay? If y'all want me to start recording myself doing these examples, I promise you I will. I promise you I will. I'll show y'all the first hands of it working, because it'd be working. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll make it like an NBA mic'd up type of situation. You know, I just didn't want to jump out the gate with that type of stuff and that type of content. If y'all, is that what y'all want to see? You know what I'm saying? Because I initially, my bare minimum is to teach y'all how to win the game, right? And make less dinguses and meatheads in the world. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all want that, definitely let me know. But subscribe to the channel. Turn on the post notification bell so you know every time we drop a new video. You understand? Make sure you also go ahead and follow Taylor Elajas Vlogs on Instagram and follow Taylor Elajas Vlogs on TikTok. We run it up over there. Appreciate all the support. Let's keep it going. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Taylor Elajas. Win the game before the game beats you. Taylor out.